time I begin a new semester and I teach this class from which today's presentation is born, here's my, I like this. Here's the one that I use to show Costner's journey, or Dunbar's journey. And you see, he goes right through where I teach, well, theoretically, he comes right through the area where I teach this class. And the students go, oh, cool, he's a local boy. No, he's not. But each time I begin this new semester, I teach the class from when today's presentation is born. I'm somewhat flabbergasted, to say the least, about how very little my students truly know about American Indians. Generally, what they do know is negative, and taken from what they've seen in their high school history courses, heard in popular songs, or seen in television and movies. And here are some quotes, and these are direct quotes from students. I have them write down, I give them a series of questions. What do you know about American Indians, and how do you know it? And then I go through a white privilege, white paradigm checklist. And here are some of the comments that they get in this, that I've received from this semester just about 5 weeks ago. I can honestly say that I know practically nothing about American Indians. The only times they were even mentioned in my high school history classes is when they were involved in a war. Of course, when I went through history classes, and I asked the student to qualify this a little bit later on, and it's both, not just high school, but even college. She said even my college classes. Of course, when I went through history classes, I was taught in quotation marks, because when she said that, she did this. I was taught very little about Indians. The stereotypical headdress and leather clothing, bows and arrows. I do not recall one positive thing that I was ever taught. I never knew Indians still had powwows, or that powwows were even real events. I just thought these were Hollywood creations that movie makers made up to showcase their Indians. Here's one that just, boy, this was a kick in the pants for me. The only thing I ever learned about Indians is how they ambushed George Custer. Here's another one, somewhat relevant to this geographic area. I grew up near a Navajo reservation in Arizona, and I remember during the first week of each month our school was on lockdown, and my sisters and I would not be allowed to play outside because the Indians had gotten their welfare checks. The teachers would keep us inside because they feared an Indian would kidnap us. My parents would also keep us inside for basically the same reasons. And here's the last one, last student quote. I had always heard that Indians were the worst kinds of alcoholics, drinking anything from Listerine to rubbing alcohol. And it's at this point where I have the students do the white privilege paradigm survey. I have them do that as a way of looking at the world through a different paradigm, even if only for just a moment. Let me change my screen here. Yeah. Oftentimes, students will become angry with me over this white paradigm checklist. I've even had some get up and walk out of the classroom and go drop rather than answer the survey. That's okay. They're not ready. However, for those who stay and for those who are ready, to have everything that they've ever believed in when it comes to American Indians disputed and challenged, for those who are ready to endure and hopefully withstand the cultural earthquake that a foundation-shattering experience of actually talking to, listening to, visiting with, being around real American Indians and not some Kevin Costner creation. For those students who are ready for that kind of an earthquake, I will be their fault line. And yes, it may have taken a white man to finally bring long overdue attention to American Indians, but now we, as American Indians, must take that spark, regardless from where it came, and begin to educate those who are ready to listen. Only we can build that fire. And here's a challenge to anyone who teaches any type of Native studies. Take these types of moments, seize these higher doll effects, these dances with wolves effects. Seize the truth of the matter and not the facts of the history books. Seize the truth and help bring light to the dark places, these student minds that are clouded with such things as these. And I think I have maybe another slide or two here. This is one that I like to show where it seems like I'm constantly battling, especially with historians, the difference between oral history and what they'd like to call history, real history. So if there are any historians in the room, I apologize to you right now. But I have had near physical confrontations. I mean actually a shoving match with somebody at the University of Oklahoma one time where he said, the only history that Indians have is what we gave them because we're the only ones who ever wrote anything down. Immediately told him that full of shit. I thought it was. But this, Dunbar's journal is at the heart and soul of his story. And he says at the very end, I must go and talk to those who... No, he's not going to go talk. He's going to show them his journal. Remember how important... And even the Indian character smiles a lot, I think it is, perhaps. I can't remember the character's name now. Smiles a lot. Retrieves the journal as it's washing down the river and brings it back to him. Let's see what I have enough. Yes, here's a cover of the 500 Nations documentary series that Cost put out. And this is the last slide. Yes, the Bering Strait land bridge, and it altered the way of thinking about that theory. At least now there is another possibility. And I remember when I was growing up, going to public schools, I was told, this is how your people got here. That's not what my grandma said. Well, I know. It's in the book. See, it's in the book. So, anyway, there you go. My Dances with Wolves effect, the Hired All effect, it's all the same thing, just in a different arena. I like to take this movie, and I've heard the term deconstruction used in several panels today. I start off deconstructing. The very first day of the semester, I start deconstructing this movie so I can reconstruct at least just a different way of looking at it. I need your help. Thank you very much.